always beg something to Bhagavan. Hey Bhagavan, give me this, give me that. Change this, change that. There is always a list of demands which are put forward. Fortunately in a silent mode, so others don't know. And we think Bhagavan knows it. Always there is even the atheist. You ask the atheist, why don't you believe in? He will have 100 reasons to say there is no God. I don't believe in God. If God was there, this should not happen. That means you want this to be happen this way. There is a human urge. We have problem of haves and have-nots. I have this, therefore there is a problem. I don't have this, therefore there is a problem. Every moment of life. Try to look at your life. Tell me, did you have one full day, 24 hours, where you were happy completely? There were moments of happiness in life, but never ever one full day. And human mind being what it is, you remember unhappiness is more than happiness. When the people fight with each other, boyfriend, girlfriend, they remember what was told 2 years ago. Unhappy ways, not happy ways. That is the human problem. And that is where Gita tells us how to be happy in spite of limitations. How to be happy in spite of incompleteness. How to be happy and live with a person. It's the part of the life. It is never white or black. It is always grey. As they say, 1 plus 1 3 comes together. And you choose something good, something pleasant in a given person, something unpleasant. Something unpleasant also comes along in life, whether you want it or not. We have to learn how to accept this and be happy in spite of the limitations. That is called wisdom of living. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Understand? Whether you are studying here or there, whether you have a good job or not, important is how much you see yourself as happy. How much you accept yourself as an acceptable person. That self-acceptance, that self-satisfaction is the most important thing to achieve in the life. What you have and what you don't have doesn't matter as much as what you are in your own perception, in your own self-estimation, in your own self-evaluation, and that is a human problem. And that is the message why Gita is not a book of faith. Gita is a book of wisdom. I would put it this way: wisdom to love myself, wisdom to accept myself, wisdom to be at home with myself, and that is why the message is universal and applicable even today. A classic example, because some of you are from Mauritius, you know, The Ravana had the same problem. There is a character called Ravana who was king of Sri Lanka. And they say it was made up of gold, so much of riches the fellow had, so much of power he had. He ruled over the entire world and world year after. So much of pleasure he had in terms of whatever you can imagine. The huge description in Ramayana. But in spite of all that, Ravana was not happy with himself. Therefore went after Sita. He had enough of it. But he thought he had enough of it. But in his own perception, in his own self-estimation, he didn't have. And we all thought that Steve Jobs must be happiest person, who had so much of fame, so much of recognition, so much of money, but still he was not happy. He himself confessed in that address when he talked to youngsters in a convocational address. So, Gitaji is applicable even today. You have to expose yourself. There is no noodle solution to Gita. Put it in a hot water and start eating. It is a teaching. Arjuna needed the teaching for 18 chapters. You need to expose yourself for at least 18 days to some views and then own it up. Thereafter, every moment of life is joyous. Listen, the subject matter of Gita is not God, is you. Subject matter is me, I. Whenever you are studying, and remember this is talking about me. And which me? It reveals the self, which is Anand. Every moment of existence becomes full of joy. What they call it as a sthitapya. It gets, that is a real strength. Strength is not in becoming powerful in terms of power or money or position. Strength is I am untouched by any external change. No external changes can affect me. That is real strength. And that's what I said. Gita gives you that inner strength. It is a message for inner transformation. I am not talking about psychological inner. I am talking at the level of self. That you discover what we call it as self as Satchit Anand. You are Ananda all the time. And that is why you find Krishna, who taught Gita, always smiling. If you look at Krishna's biography, he also have his situational problems, but not problems centered on I. He discovered that self which is full and complete in Ananda. And that needs, as I say, to expose. And I wish that you may get some opportunity to expose to Gita, whereby you discover yourself to be happiness, personified happiness. Don't have to look for happiness. I am happiness. That's a message. In these words, I conclude, and I have some time, but I wish that we can have some 10 minutes for question and answer session. Therefore, I am deliberately concluding a little earlier. I may have to go to some program at 6 o'clock. I may have to leave later on. So, should you have any questions, you may ask.
Sir, can we get involved in both the Gita activities as international students? Under the term of coexistence.
Under the
The term of coexistence, of course, different religions, Muslim, Buddhist, atheist, whatever.
you can involve in a study, but unfortunately that medium may be Gujarati. So English, I can give you some of the links of my talks. You can listen that, and then through YouTube you can study. But personally, I would wish it some live opportunities available to you. This is something, not this, even the very, pardon me for saying this. The COVID has changed the human life in a big way. Like in a history we study, the revolution, French revolution, etc. Generation next will write COVID revolution. How the work, how we study, etc. But no education is complete without eye contact of a teacher to a student. This digital business doesn't work as the live teaching works. Teaching or learning is a very dynamic process. It's like an art. It's a very process of creation. And it has to be live. You may listen YouTube, but still I personally, because the eyes of the, should you teach somebody, you will know. Eyes of the student speaks. And teacher can read that point is understood or not taken care of. So it's good to study. Let's see if we get some opportunity in future.
Can we offer something as a token of remembrance?
Hold on. Let's complete the question. We are in a question answer session. We still have 7-8 minutes. Yes, anyone else?
So, what have you put in place so that international students also can benefit?
What benefit of it? What?
There is any lecturers there that will be lecturing us English so that we can understand exactly what the Gujarati is?
Well, as I said, I'll give you my link of YouTube lectures. And should you have association of international students, and if you can organize something on a regular basis, I'll come down. Though I have a heavy, very hectic schedule, but I spare a couple of days every month or so. And we can have a sort of crash program. We can work out. We can talk to Tushar or somebody. Do you have your association of international students?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Somebody says that there will be some sessions, online program, and
They are interested in continuing some of them this study. I personally feel you cannot, the teaching has to be live, cannot be on YouTube. So if you can organize on a regular basis lectures, in a 1 day or 2 day in a month, then we can work out this.
Sure.
And try to fit this in my schedule and then come over. How many members do you have?
So we have around 120 students right now, as of now.
Okay. You can issue a circular and those who sign up then you can call a meeting and find out a common time which suits everybody. Because class schedules may be different for each of them.
Yeah, they normally get free in the evening after 6 o'clock. Till then they are in the classes and all.
There are exams.
Yes, they are.
So-
Most of them are not here because of the exams.
That's why I'm saying. So find out a common timing or a day.
So they'll be done with their exams by 27th December.
please issue a circular, get a meeting, those who sign up for that, and fix up a day in a month. Then from morning to evening we can have a crash or half a day or something. Because if exams are not there, then there are vacations and they want to go. So we have to find out a crash program for it.
So how about doing a visit to a temple? For me personally, I have this curiosity of discovering the temple.
I'm in a short of hearing. Because of my cold, my ears are little not working.
Organizing a visit to a temple.
Okay. Nothing wrong in going to a temple. Okay. But you see, when you go to any place of worship, when you come to a university, I can come as a visitor and to look around and see the infrastructure and go. And my attitude would be entirely different if I come there as a student. I want to gain. So when you visit any place of worship, it is good to go. But more important is your devotion when you go there. Do you have a devotion for that particular place of worship? In other words, let me put it this way, can it invoke a devotee out of you?
I don't think so.
Then it is worth going. Otherwise, it's just like visiting a garden or visiting a place. Museum. And I would add this further. You know, when you see a woman, see a mother, there is a daughter invoked. Correct? Your whole conduct changes. When you see your sister or a brother, there is a sister invoked out of. And if the brother is younger, there is a different sister. If brother is older, there is a different sister. When you see a friend is invoked. When one sees a spouse, the husband or wife is invoked. Similarly, depending upon your upbringing, the family background, the religion that the family follows, and the friends and the peers with whom you are exposed to, the devotee will be invoked. I would say one needs to understand God, not just believe. The Gita addresses that. The belief may be true or may not be true. Belief is always subject to verification. Knowledge is always true. You need to understand. And when you understand, love becomes profound. At the age of 5, my love for my mother was different than at the age of 30. At the age of 40, it's different. I understood what role she played in my life. The devotion is not simply surrendering, it is love for God.
Divine love.
Well, I would not use that because you cannot qualify the word divine, it becomes ambiguous. Any love is divine, in fact, for that matter.